Brad Williams XL Prime, this thing just looks like a disaster. All we're doing is we're going to combine fruits and vegetables from two lists, but it just gets really ugly looking because, well, look at this. Look at this awful looking formula. Holy smokes, what are you doing, Williams? Here, break it down. What are we trying to do? Go in here. We have an if statement. If, logical test, if this is true, produce this. Otherwise, produce this. Here's the breakdown. We're really looking at sequence rows. If this number here is plus this is less than this row, then go ahead and start your look for true. If it's less than, here's what's important. You're going to have this test. You're going to include both of these because we're asking if value true. Here, you see this stuff here? You see this list here? It's true. That's why it's so complicated, because we're actually going to combine these two using this approach. Here, value of true is going to generate this part of our list. Here's our output. And then the false is going to generate this part of the list. And then we just combine them. Yeah, I know you're going, can you do that? Well, we have an index. We have an index. Think of this as just the index. We're going to index this, and then we're indexing this to come up with this crazy output. This is the output. What is this? This is the first logical test. Here's our logical test right here. Right here, sequence, rows. So we go to the first one, and is rows E5, F10, E5 to F10, plus rows H5, I14, less than or equal to rows F5 to F10. We're just asking if this is equal to this. And then it's saying true. No, it's asking if this plus this is less than or equal to this. And you can see, yes, true. True, 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 true. What are we asking here? Look at this here. F9, F4 is going to be 6 plus, here is F9. 6 plus 10 is equal to, less than or equal to, here, F9, 6. So it's true. Then we're going to go down here, and we're going to go, and we can't do it, but you kind of get the flow here. We're going to say that at some point, we want the trues, and this is what we get right here. This is what we get. Here are our trues, and here are our false. If you look, here's the true, here's the false. And if you go in and you just hit F9 at each one of these, we're going to get this string here, this array. And then we go here, if true, we're going to get true. And that's what we got. We got cherry. And then we can go down, and that's exactly what this thing's going to do. And it says if false, that's all we're asking. If false, then do something. You remember here? Remember the if? If condition is met, do something. If not, do something else. It's all we're doing. It's just putting it all together. Now, in terms of index, this is our row. This is going to be our row. This is going to be our column. Remember, here, we got this logic thing going. Then index is just going to go, show me the array, show me the row number, show me the column number. We're going to go here and do the exact same thing, the array, row number, column number. We're going to get whatever that output is based on rows, sequence, rows, H4. We're just going to keep repeating this thing. I know it is really hard to follow. And keep in mind here, I broke this down. You can stretch this formula bar. Here's the breakdown of this thing. Looking at the false, we're going to look here, and way over here we have our array. It's going to be this second list, and this is what it breaks down to. We have cherry, 6, lettuce, cherry, etc., etc. Then we have our row number, and this is pretty much the theme of this entire deal. You remember this right here? We're right here at this third line, index H5. We have our array, and that's this section right here. Here's our array. We're going into sequence, and sequence has to create a list. It's looking at rows E5 plus rows H5, H14. Remember I was doing this? Then we're subtracting from E5 to F10. And here's our outcome. We're going to get negative 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, then 0. What do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's the negative 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. They're not going to show up in the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are false, but are active. In other words, because of this if statement, it adds this second list to list 1. And then if we go back up here, to this index, you're going to see, and again, you got to familiarize or work with this rows E5 plus E15 minus, etc., etc. You're going to see the difference here. You notice in the first true comparison, we're just going rows E5. All right, we're doing the same thing, but we're subtracting in the second. Break this thing down, work it out if you're struggling. Brad Williams, XL Prime.